All right, so we had a little petty argument because I, Chief X, used the term the Sphinx in Egypt is along the Mediterranean coast. I said, okay. Now, here is the Mediterranean coast. Okay, the Sphinx. Let me make sure I see it right. It's right here. You see where it says Sphinx? Huh? You see where it says Sphinx? You see the coast? I use the terminology, and people are just so scared of this Mediterranean world because when you say it's Mediterranean or Mediterranean people, that leaves sub-Saharan Africans out. So they've been so scared of this Mediterranean world, they're doing backflips and going all over the place and trying to wiggle and act like the Sphinx is not near or along, is the word I use, the Mediterranean Sea. Look, now, I never said, like these people are trying to say now and change the verbiage, I never said the Sphinx is on the Mediterranean Sea. I heard Ak use the word, Chief X said it's on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. I didn't say that. And people argued, listen to what I'm saying, this is how petty it is. People argued for an hour about the verbiage along. I said it's along the Mediterranean Sea. When I say that, I'm just saying in general, maybe close to or along what runs that. Along means to me is anything around here. Along the Mediterranean Sea. It's close to, it's near the Mediterranean Sea. It's nothing wrong with saying that. My point is, it's nowhere south. And it's an old monument. I don't know if it's the oldest, because they have, I've realized you have terms like monument, structure, building, you know what I mean? So it gets confusing. So that's not my argument no more. So, is Chief X right? With all these people arguing. Okay? Is Chief X right? Let's go. Here's Google Earth. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's on the Mediterranean Sea. I said along the Mediterranean Sea. It's nothing wrong with using that verbiage. It's very close, isn't it? Okay? So, along, look, this is land. This is marshy around here. So it's a little below the marsh, or whatever you call it. I'm not a geologist. But it's along here. That's what I mean by along the coast. Even if it's down here where the tip of my arrow is. In my opinion, that's along the coast. I didn't say it's on the sea or on the shores. I said it's along the Mediterranean Sea, and it's very close. Okay, so let's see, Chief X. Are you correct? Okay. Sphinx of Giza in Egypt, right? Location, Northern Africa, bordering the Mediterranean Sea. It's just verbiage. There's nothing wrong with saying bordering or along, but it's not on the border per se. But when people talk, they're just saying this in general. God damn. What does border mean? What does border mean? Near, I'm just giving you some, you know, let's go see. Border. It's near it, like I said, the edge of boundary of something, or the part near it. Borders, okay, from an edge along. Isn't that the wording I used? I said it's along the Mediterranean Sea. I'm correct. I'm not exact, But in intelligent talking, if you're just talking to an intellectual and you say it's along the Mediterranean Sea, nobody's going to stop you or argue with you. Unless you're a black American Egyptomaniac who's scared of the word Mediterranean. Then you don't want to say it's along the Mediterranean, and you'll argue that for hours and have a stupid argument. So Chief X is correct. The Sphinx, way up here, is along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. It's not on the coast, it's near it. And I would use the word along, which is nothing wrong with that. Okay? Now, like people use the word to come very close to being something. It's just closer, near, you know. So, what do they say? The location of it is bordering the Mediterranean Sea. Is that a better word? But it's not literally bordering either. If you guys just trying to be so literal and fuck up a conversation, you'll argue shit like bordering and along, when it's just basically trying to say it's very close and near to the Mediterranean Sea. So if you use along, bordering, and shit like that, either one is fine. But my point is, it's not down here. That was my whole point. I know vocabulary, know how to speak. You guys had that whole hour argument behind a petty... you know the thing, I kept saying, this is such a petty argument. Y'all remember I kept saying this. But you guys wanted to continue on and drug it out for an hour just to spite Chief X. And as we see, Chief X is right again. It's along. There's nothing wrong with saying it's along the Mediterranean Sea. Okay? The Sphinx of Giza in Egypt. Okay? Okay? Now, I wasn't trying to be exact, but come on now. Y'all be just arguing about the silliest shit just to escape from reality. If the Sphinx is near or along the Mediterranean Sea, then Mediterranean people, more than likely, when we're using logic and common sense, more than likely if something's here, the people who lived around here built it. Get over it.